Good morning to everyone. How are you today?
Great.
Yeah, me too, me too. Very nice. If you would please, let's get right into it. Stand and join us for our very first song, which is I Claim a Blessing by Claudia Carawan.
Great way to start the day, every day. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. This is how I start my day, knowing good is on the way. I am claiming perfect health, love and laughter, friends and wealth. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. With conviction undeterred and power of the spoken word, take my life and redefine, break the shackles of my mind. In the morning when I get out of bed, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Before I even lift my head, I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Ooh, yeah. I lift my thoughts to higher ground, knowing miracles are all around. Each day unfolds just as it should, while I'm focusing on my good. Life is filled with opportunity. I wonder what good will happen for me. I claim a blessing, claim it. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. I claim a blessing. Woo! Yeah.
Well, once again, I would like to point out and say thank you again to Mr. John Merrifield coming in here. My pleasure. Some music.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And Mr. Richard Sigler sitting in on the drums.
Oh,
Thank you,
yes.
Richard. Yeah.
Woohoo!
If you'd please join us in our statement of faith. Together now.
There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. God the good, omnipotent.
The Goodness of God by Sue K. Riley is our next song. Please join us.
Clarinet.
These are the hands, this is the voice to celebrate the goodness of God. I lift up my hands, I lift up my voice to celebrate the goodness of God.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Welcome to Unity of Springfield's live stream. Our service will begin in 15 minutes.
Good morning. There's someone else we also should thank. We had some sick soloists this morning, and Sue found out this morning, I don't know what time exactly, that she was going to be the soloist. So we thank her for her flexibility. Would you please check in on Facebook? Tell your friends you're here at Unity of Springfield, and then please either shut your phone off or at least mute it. And due to the rise in the COVID cases in our area, we're currently urging that our congregants wear their mask while they're inside this building. Will you please join me in today's mission, well, it's every day's mission statement. Together, our mission is to encourage and inspire spiritual and personal growth by empowering each other to be authentically all that we came here to be. Now, the affirmation for today's daily word should be said with gusto and zeal and joy. So if you will please join me. I am a radiant, healthy, abundant, joyful, peace-filled, generous expression of God. Thank you, Susan. I claim my divine divinity and speak the truth of my being as I affirm, I am whole and strong. I am wise. I am free. If my human self thinks I can't or I'm not able, my divine nature responds with, I can. I am intelligent because the light of God fills my mind. I am healthy because the life of God flows throughout my body. I am loving and peaceful because the love of God is my very nature. I use my I am mindfully and with intention, careful not to attach it to words that negate my spiritual nature. I feel the presence and power of God expressing as me every time I speak the truth about myself. I affirm I am in all situations positively responding from that center of truth within me. God is and I am. The scripture is from Exodus, 3rd chapter, verses 14-15. God said to Moses, I am that I am. This is my name forever, and this my title for all generations. And let's show our zeal in speaking the affirmation together again. I am a radiant, healthy, abundant, joyful, peace-filled, generous expression of God. During today's prayer meditation, please hold the following in prayer for their highest and best experience of life. Elizabeth, Alice, Tom, Mark, Ron, Shirley, Jenny, Edna, Dana, Christine, Krista, Emily, Andrew, Bella, Mary, Sue, and anyone who comes into your mind. Allow the beautiful peace-filled tones of the prayer bowl to center you as we begin to move into our time of prayer and meditation. absorbing the vibrations and hearing the sounds coming from the prayer bowl. We focus our attention on the now, this present moment. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Beginning to relax our bodies, we start at the top of our head, down through the forehead, eyes, ears, jaw. Relax your neck and your shoulders, your arms, wrists, fingers. Return your attention to the heart area. Take a deep breath to expand the lungs and exhale. Relax your chest, abdomen, thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and your toes. Inhale and exhale with an audible sigh. Created in the essence and after the likeness of God, our hands, our voice, are expressions of the infinite. And we lift them up to celebrate God's goodness. We affirm the highest good for the persons whom prayer was requested. Also for ourselves, our families, our friends, for the entire human race. We affirm healing mentally, emotionally, and physically. We affirm love, harmony, and abundance for all. We claim healthy environments, healthy food and water, a life of plenty. May every person on this planet feel truly loved, accepted, appreciated, respected, valued, and blessed. May all live surrounded by peace and enjoying peace of mind. With gratitude and joy, we pray always. And maintaining our consciousness of prayer, allowing this relaxation and prayerfulness to remain, we continue into meditation. Let my words become your words. I am a radiant expression of God. I share my bright light with all I encounter. I am healthy in mind, body, and spirit, clearing myself of past regrets and negative experiences. I am abundant, with all my needs met, all my desires fulfilled. I am joy-filled, sharing my delight and enthusiasm with zeal. I live my life to the fullest, exploring and sharing my purpose with others. Wherever I go forth in peace. I go forth spreading love. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am an individualized expression of the Christ Spirit. As we move into the silence, which of these affirmations come back to mind? Please dwell on those, give thanks, or picture a change in the silence.
Once again, thanks to Sue for stepping in and doing these songs kind of last minute. This song is called I'm Ready by Aaron McGon. Are you ready?
Yes, I just was
It's the
telling John,
songs.
he does a beautiful job underneath that meditation, doesn't
Thank
he? And
you.
with his piano. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. This is what I say to Mitch every time. Are you ready? Are you ready yet? So he's just giving it back to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A shout out to Carrie and Baylor, who were supposed to be here today. Send them power balls of healing energy. Carrie and I were going to be Baylorettes today. So. How many times have I prayed for an answer when I didn't know the question? How many ways have I turned away from your word? How long have I been wading in the water when I didn't even know I was wet? How long have you been talking to me and I never heard? Well, now I'm ready to receive your love. I'm ready to receive your love. Let your love rain down on me. I'm ready to receive it, ready to believe it, ready to receive your love. I'm ready to receive your love. Let your love rain down on me. I'm ready, ready to receive. Why did I try so hard to give you what you never said you needed? What was I trying to prove to myself or the world or to you? When was I planning on saying enough is enough of my stuff? How long have you been loving me and I never knew? Well, now I'm ready to receive your love. I'm ready to receive your love. Let your love rain down on me. I'm ready to receive it, ready to believe it, ready to receive your love. I'm ready to receive your love. Let your love rain down on me. I'm ready, ready to receive. Now when I think about the times I shook my fist at the sky, it makes me want to laugh, it makes me want to cry. There had to be a reason. Can someone tell me why? No, wait, I don't need to know, because I'm ready to receive your love. I'm ready to receive your love. Let your love rain down on me. I'm ready to receive it, ready to believe it. Now I'm ready to receive your love. I'm ready to receive your love. Let your love rain down on me. I'm ready, ready to receive. I'm ready, ready to receive. Oh, yeah, I'm ready, ready to receive. Thank you. Thank you. Woohoo. All right. I actually thought I was doing the other song, so I was prepared for the other one. I was like, nope, it's not that
You're
one.
ready.
We were ready, ready, ready. Okay, let me get my stuff together.
You lied to me.
All right. Okay, no, I did that one. Okay, well, we're just going to figure this out. First, I want to tell you that I talked to Tom Long this morning. And for those of you who don't know, Tom has been in the hospital for
pretty much the better part, well, over a week. And he has a growth on his liver, and it is cancerous. But Tom's in good spirits. They don't know exactly yet what they're going to do, if they're going to keep him here, send him to Barnes, possibly is what he told me today. But ultimately, on my way here, he just said, send his love to everyone. And isn't that so, Tom? So, Tom, we just send you power balls of healing. I told him my vision is we're going to see that growth on his liver just being just obliterated, so that it's not even something that he has to think about. So I hope you hold that vision with me. And I want to tell, for those of you who have been here for a long time that may know Ron and Shirley Phelps, that Ron has also been diagnosed with cancer. And Shirley wanted me to let people know about that. And so, again, just power balls of healing to Ron as he journeys through this time. Okay. Good morning, everyone. So, do you think that your life could ever be changed by one sentence? Yes, absolutely. Because we've actually, we know, many of us have been impacted by things that people have said to us. It's kind of changed the direction of our life, whether it's a positive or a negative thing. I think how many times I've heard somebody say that, they would be singing and a music teacher would say, you can't carry a note in a suitcase. And it would, keep them from singing for the rest of their lives. Or the opposite would be somebody who was giving a real positive thing. So, of course, the answer to that is yes. So today, what I'm talking about is the power of our words. And in particular, I'm basing it on this book called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel-Shinn. Now, Florence was a writer, she was an illustrator, but she was also a really great New Thought metaphysical teacher back in the late 1800s and into the 1900s. She passed away in 1940. This particular book was the first book that I picked up about 37 years ago that changed the trajectory of my life. It opened me up to New Thought principles. And I love that, because I didn't even realize it was by Florence Scovel-Shinn, and Florence was not a Unity minister, but she was very well known in Unity circles. So it just kind of tickled me when I realized this past week that, oh my gosh, I was reading Unity stuff before I even knew that Unity existed, and I'm so grateful for that. So she says that most people consider life to be a battle. I know we don't in here, but that life is not a battle, that actually what life is that it's a game, but that we cannot play this game successfully without knowing and without understanding the spiritual laws, which she said the Old Testament and the New Testament give us great clarity on the rules of the game and how to play it. And she said that Jesus, who was our great teacher, our great master metaphysician, really said the great game is a game of giving and receiving. And so when you think about Scripture, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. As you give, so shall you receive. So she relates that to, if we give out love, we're going to receive love. If we give out hate, we're going to receive hate. If we give out compassion and kindness, we're going to receive that back. She also reminds us that the imaging faculty plays a leading part in the game of life. And we've all heard the scripture, as a man or a woman thinketh in their heart, so are they. And we know that it is the combination of the head and the heart that creates that energy. In Proverbs, it says, keep thy heart, which is that where we have that full imagination is what we're believing. Keep it with all diligence. So be aware. Wake up and become aware of what is there in your heart that you're believing, because out of it are the issues of life. And when we look at the word issues, we think of things as being kind of negative, but isn't it true that in our old way of thinking, those, our old beliefs, they did create the issues of life, right? Absolutely. So she says that whatever we image with feeling, sooner or later, in some way, externalizes in our life. How many of us have experienced that over and over and over again? But I can also say over and over and over again, because we've got our principles. So she uses just she uses some examples. I put them down to one sentence. She talked about a man who always talked about a particular disease and really feared that, and that he ended up getting that disease. She talks about a woman who was fine financially, but she always feared, always talked lack, and she ended up losing what she had. And we all understand those examples, right? Okay. I'm bringing a coffee bar in here. Okay. So she said, and can we go to the next slide, that in playing the game of life, that one of the things that is so important to know is that there are 3 phases of mind. There are the subconscious, the conscious, and the superconscious. Now, obviously, the conscious mind is this mind that we're in right now. We're actually present here. Are we all present? Okay, just want to make sure we're present here. It's our conscious mind. Okay. Our superconscious mind is God mind. Yeah, okay. So our subconscious mind, she says, is simply power without direction, although our subconscious mind does have a lot of direction. And here's how I think of it. I've always thought of our subconscious mind as like filing cabinets filled with files of everything that we've ever believed or experienced and taken on to believe. So we have all these files in these filing cabinets of our subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is simply saying yes to whatever we consciously or unconsciously tell it, by default. And our default is when the default kicks in when I'm not consciously aware of what I'm thinking. Okay, when I'm not in the present moment, when I'm not awake and aware in the present moment. I know in my own life, and I know in your lives too, but that by using these principles, we've been able to clean out those files, haven't we? We've been able to eradicate some of those old files that immediately come up and to put new files in there so that when we're not thinking about what we're thinking about, those are the things that are being drawn forward by our subconscious mind. So here's the thing. We give our subconscious mind direction by either our conscious mind or by our superconscious mind. How many of us as children were tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the superconscious mind all the time? No hands. You were, that's awesome. That'd be great to be that tapped in and tuned in when you're young. So here's the thing, the vast majority of beliefs that we have in our subconscious files were via the life that we were raised in, the culture that we were raised in, the schools that we went to, the families that we had. And so the reality is that most of our subconscious mind has been filled with other people's ideas about life, about you, about whatever, our possibilities and our impossibilities. And when we talk about the subconscious mind being the power, the reason is that it is the power is because it is what we believe. And when we tap into that belief, and there's an energy that comes from that belief, right? And so that energy is emanating out, and by law of attraction, it is attracting to us things that align with that energy. So that's why it's called the power. And this is both, as we can see, spiritually based, but it's also scientifically based. Quantum physics tells us that when we look at a particle or a wave, that our observation of it, our focus on it, changes it. So I love this. It's all scientific as well as it is spiritual. So what we ultimately want to be tapping into on a more regular basis is the superconscious mind, right? Or the God mind. Florence Scovel-Shinn calls this the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven. She said this is the realm of divine ideas, or that perfect pattern. We call it the potentialities and possibilities, where there's vast things that can occur in the realm of this superconscious mind. And so how do we open ourselves up to the superconscious mind? We've talked about it over the last weeks, through prayer and through meditation. But here's the cool part, is from that place where these ideas are coming and we're starting to see that, hey, there are more possibilities here. It may not feel like a possibility today, but it's here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to use our conscious mind, with our thoughts and with both our spoken words and our internal words to nurture those divine ideas. And I think that a lot of times that's where we kind of fall short, is we forget that we still have work to do. Because the reality is, for most of us, I know for myself, I have had to work years on some of my subconscious stuff. Anybody else have to work years? I'm still working on some of my subconscious stuff. So, and some things, and don't you find like there are areas of your life that just flow? I mean, I know relationship for me has always been one where I always know I'm gonna have love around me, whether it's in my partner or my friends or my family. But other areas don't flow as easily as that because I have these old subconscious tapes going on. So how do we then nurture these divine ideas? And today what we're going to talk about is the power of words, the power, again, of the spoken words and affirmations, denials and affirmations, which we started talking about last week. And Clay, if you could go forward. In Proverbs it says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. I'm done. That's it. I mean, come on. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And then Jesus says in Matthew, Jesus called the crowd to him and said, listen and understand, what goes into your mouth does not defile you, but what comes out of your mouth, that is what defiles you. And then he goes on to say, are you still so dull? Don't you see that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and then out of the body? But the things that come out of the mouth come from the heart, and those defile you. And, it's interesting because our words, if we start listening to the words we say and the words that we're thinking in our head, they reveal to us what is in our heart. They reveal to us what it is that we really believe. And that's why I always say, my friends, it's so important for us to be awake and aware, to be in the present moment. Now, does this mean that we're always going to speak words that are affirmative and expanding? I haven't gotten there totally yet. But that's where we want to be more, right? To be able to speak those words. So our words, when spoken unconsciously, come from our subconscious mind. So let me give you an example. Let's just say that you really desire a really great relationship in your life. But maybe in your life you haven't necessarily had that experience, that maybe the relationships that have shown up in your life have not been so great. Maybe your parents' relationship wasn't so great. So we've got these subconscious ideas. So we're out someplace and we see a couple in front of us. And they're walking along and they're holding hands. And they might be, touching each other's shoulder and kind of looking at each other and maybe giggle a little bit. And you see them give each other a little kiss, Well, if we are not consciously aware, our subconscious file that it's going to pull forward is, I'm never going to have that. That's not possible for me. Oh, how sickening. They must be new. Yeah. It must be early on in their relationship, yeah. But that's the thing, is that's why we want to become aware what is going on in there in those situations, whether it's this or whether it's money, whatever it is, because that's what we actually believe, and we want to wake up and we want to change that belief. What we could be saying is, wow, isn't that great? This evidence is showing up right here. The scripture that says faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I'm seeing the evidence. It's this close to me. How wonderful that this is now in my realm. I can feel it. It's getting closer to me now. So let me ask you, which mindset is going to open you up to a great relationship? A, sad, separated, or B, excited and joyful? B, absolutely. Okay, so we understand that. We understand, and that's why, again, and I've said this so many times, wake up, O sleeper, and rise, and let the Christ light shine its light on you. Wake up. We have to wake up and become aware of what those old tapes are that are playing in our mind, especially when it's something that's been kind of difficult for us. I want to become aware of that and change that trajectory. She goes on to say that we release God's supply, and I like to think of it, we live and move and have our being in the divine substance of God that is responding to our deepest beliefs and faith through our spoken word, and we must have perfect faith in our spoken word. Now, I'm going to say you won't always have perfect faith, but that's okay, because faith the size of a mustard seed makes a difference. In Isaiah, it says, "My word shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that whereunto it is sent." So our words do not return to us void. And I love this. She said, Jesus never saw lack or illness or separation. His clear vision pierced the world of matter, and he saw clearly the fourth dimensional world, things as they really are, complete and perfect in divine mind. I love that. It pierced the world of matter, and he could look into that fourth dimension, and that's the opportunity that we have. That we can pierce that fourth dimension and look into that fourth dimensional realm and look and say, I'll choose that, thank you, yes. I'll choose that, thank you, yes. I'll choose health. I'll choose abundance. I'll choose loving relationships. I'll choose divine guidance. Because all these things, whatever is your deepest heart desire, it's already done in this other realm. We have to be able to get past the world of appearance and move into that greater realm. Yes? Okay. So she tells a story. She doesn't tell, I'm sorry, in a booklet that was probably 10 or 15 years old. It was called The Wonder-Working Power of Prayer. A woman tells her own story. And the story is that when she was a young girl, she was fooling around. She fell out of the top bunk of a bed. And when she fell on her face. And so what happened were she had her baby teeth, but her permanent upper and lower teeth were shattered. So the dentist, working just with the known laws of healing, according to her x-rays, told her and her mother that her teeth, once it was time for her permanent teeth to come in, that they would never come in. And he gave her no other hope. However, her mother was a student of Unity. And her mother was very connected with Silent Unity. She called Silent Unity, so she knew that these positive prayers were surrounding her daughter. She used truth affirmations. She read uplifting Unity material. And her mother also used denials. And that's why it's so important that we deny and we affirm. A lot of times we need to get those thoughts behind us, as I've talked about. She denied that there was any power greater than God and denied that there were any limitations on God's power to heal. Wow. That's what we can know for Tom and for Ron. We deny that there are any limitations on God's power to heal. Her mother had her repeat the denials and affirmations as best she could, given the condition of her mouth. And because of her mother's just pure faith, the little girl developed that faith that she was gonna be healed. So she went back weeks later to the dentist. The dentist did another set of x-rays, and this is what she said. After a short time, the dentist entered carrying the original x-rays in one hand and the new set in the other. His face had turned a ghostly pale as he looked back and forth from old to new, and he demanded that the mother have a look while he peered inside my mouth and prodded my gums. Then he began muttering repeatedly, shaking his head, "This can't be. This is impossible." When the time came for her permanent teeth to grow in, her permanent teeth were perfectly fine. Wow. This is a real person. This isn't a myth. This isn't a story. This isn't a legend. This is a real person. She talked about another woman who needed to get, Florence Scovel-Shinn did, an apartment in New York at a time when apartments were incredibly scarce. And it was almost impossible to get an apartment. And her friends reminded her of what an impossibility it was, and they felt sorry for her. And she said to them, "You needn't feel sorry for me. I'm a Superman, and I'll get that apartment." And she spoke the words, infinite spirit opened the way for the right apartment. So what she did was she went out in active faith and bought blankets for her new apartment. And what happened, she found one in a miraculous way, and it was given to her even though there were over 200 applicants. My personal story is that in my first marriage, we had been renting for 12 years, and we decided it was time for us to buy, even though we didn't really have much of a down payment and our credit was pretty iffy. But it's like, and we were pretty new into Unity. So man, I'm fresh with Unity principles. I'm using my principles, and started to have that vision board and started talking about it. One day I went out for a walk, which I did quite often, and something just nudged me to turn right. And I walked down this road, and at the end of this road was a house for sale by owner. And I loved this house. I was so excited, went home, told Mike, we decided, yeah, let's call him, let's make an offer. They accepted our offer, so now is the time for the financing. So we find a lender, we put our stuff in. So my act of faith was this. We did not have a dishwasher in the house that we were in. And I don't know about you, but I did not like doing dishes all the time for 4 people. So this house had a dishwasher. So I went out and I bought a bottle of Cascade dishwashing liquid, and I sat it on the kitchen table where I would see it all the time. And I just kept my faith that it was all going to work out. And guess what? It worked out, and we got the house. So Jesus says if we have faith the size of a mustard seed, that we can say to the mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and it will be done for us. Well, partly what this means is that mountain represents those large, looming, seeming impenetrable ideas of impossibility and lack and illness and all those things that we feel like we've just never been able to get through. But what did he say here? He said, when we say to it, when we speak the word to it, to get behind me because you have no power over me. And I've said this before many times. I don't think Jesus was saying to just say, oh, mountain, get behind me. Oh, belief and lack, get behind me. No. You know, he commanded. He brought that energy forth. And, you know, using the power of our spoken word, that vibration, we tell it, get behind me because you have no power over me. So I have shared with you that my body deals with fibromyalgia. I'm not claiming that for myself. It just is what it is right now. Interestingly enough, in these last 2 weeks, when I've been doing these talks, fibromyalgia has popped up. And I've had some rough days and incredible fatigue, pain. And so I've gotten to practice my principles a lot in these last 2 weeks. So my thing is, and I'm going to use more words than I normally use here, but just to get the point across, that, my denial is, I deny that fibromyalgia can live in my mind and body any longer. Now, I do appreciate the lessons that I learned, the things that it has taught me about some of the ways that I handled things in the past. But, I'm ready for it. So I'm going to say to it, fibromyalgia, get out, vamoose, adios, hasta la vista, baby, bugger off, skedaddle, evacuate, hightail it out of here, split, take a hike. Don't let the door hit you in. The affirmations are the next thing that we're going to talk about. Yeah. Did you wonder if I was going to say it? So, we deny the power. We deny that there's any true power in it. There's only one presence and one power, and that is God. God is that divine healing power. But now it's important that we recondition our consciousness because we have become accustomed to what is. So our consciousness has been focused on that. We need to refocus our consciousness, and in my case, on healing and wholeness and life and energy. And so how do we do that? Again, spoken word. Inside and out. We've got to become aware of what's going on when we're not thinking about what we're thinking about. Statements of faith. We are recognizing, and we're recognizing it more and more all the time, that we have to wake up and we have to take control of our minds. We were created to have dominion over our minds. In fact, let's say, I am created to have dominion over my mind. I have dominion over my mind. Any thoughts that do not support my deepest desires, get out. Evacuate. Don't let the door hit you in the affirmations. Okay, so for me, it would look something like, Clay, if you could, and you, please say this with me, because I think all of us could always use things that are going to be healing affirmations for us. So, divine life at this moment is healing every cell in my body. God's healing power is at work in me now. I am whole and healthy in mind, body, and spirit. I am the radiant life of God. And you can go to the next one. Is there one more? Okay. I am renewed by the revitalizing Spirit of God. I feel this energy moving in and through me now. It awakens every life center in my body now. I feel the life and the power of God flowing through me now. I am healed. And so we say that with conviction. And I love, I feel this energy moving now and awakening every life center, because I can feel that. You know, I love the little song that every little cell in my body is happy, every little cell in my body is well, every little cell in my body is happy, every little cell in my... Then we put some energy. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. Energy. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. You want to bring joy in. You want to bring that expansive energy into your words. You want to make it fun, but feel it. And let yourself imagine that healing energy of God doing its mighty work in your body, doing its mighty work in your finances, doing just its mighty work in your life, whatever it is. Feel the love just pouring, because God is love. It is God's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. It's God's good pleasure. Jesus said, I came that you may have joy. I came that you may have an abundant life. Let's wake up to that. And let's claim it for ourselves. I love it. You did so great in the meditation with the affirmations, the words that were empowering. And here's the thing too, my friends. It's not just for us. It is so important that you speak those words for other people. I have to tell you, when I got the message this morning, I think it was about 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere in there, that Baylor wasn't going to be able to be here. And I'm like, okay. So I text Carrie, and I say, so can you do one of these songs? And then Carrie texts and says, I'm sick too. And it's like, oh, because I learned the harmony part on the song. I didn't learn the whole song. But John responds to me and he says, you've got this, or something like that. And then Baylor responds and says, you've got this. And those words made such a difference to me. You know, I love Alice is back here. She just had half of a knee replacement Monday, right? A week ago Friday, okay. Not that long ago. She's here this morning. And here's the thing about John and Alice. They live their principles. She's in the hospital overnight, and the nurses are amazed at her progress just overnight. And here she is, and she's at church a week later practically, and her therapists are amazed at her ability to bend her knee already. Why? Because of their faith, because of how they live these principles. And so that's what's possible for all of us, my friends. That is possible for every single one of us. So I want to close with this by, I think it's Mahatma Gandhi. Yes. Keep your thoughts positive, because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive, because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habits. Keep your habits positive because your habits become your values. And keep your values positive because your values become your destiny. So my friend, just go speak a good word wherever you are. And I say to you, namaste, namaste. All right. As our band is coming forward and our ushers come forward, and Allie, it's so good to have you as a new usher today. Yay! Yay! You can give so many ways to support what we are here to do and to be together. You can give through PayPal at ccunity at sbcglobal.net through our Tithely app. You can write a check, or you can give cash. So let's take the energy of our gifts in our hands and let's bless them together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And thank you, God.
See, you're just on stage all day today. You never get off the stage, did you? So The Call of Something More by Karen Drucker. Once again, Ms. Sue
There's been a storm brewing inside of me, clouds moving round my heart. Something's changing and I can't see. I'm stuck in where I know is safe, not in where I'm supposed to be. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something I've never felt before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? 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 They say that pain pushes till the vision unfolds. Feels like my safety nets have fallen down. I wish I had a map of where to go. I've got this feeling deep inside. When I get there, I will know. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something I've never been before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here for?
Thank you.
I want to make a move right now, though I don't know when or how. When I trust and know the truth, my heart will show and the way. There is more of me to share, so today I do declare I will take that step in faith and let my light shine. Oh, I
What am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here? Love.
All right, I think I have the right announcements. Yes, I do. Thanks again, Sue. Wonderful. John Merrifield on the piano there. Mr. Richard Sigler and Mr. Blaine Stiles. Also, great job, you guys.
Mitch, holding the bass
So tonight we have the LGBTQIA group that will be meeting at 6 p.m. to watch a video and discuss the upcoming book study, Crossing the Bridgeless Canyon. Mr. James Masters.
Okay, so we have an event coming up on Saturday, and Florence Scovel-Shinn was like the perfect introduction to this event because we are going to be making affirmation cards, a card deck like this. We're going to create some very easy and simple backgrounds, and then we're going to get together in groups, and we're going to create affirmations together. To have an affirmation deck for Unity of Springfield. These are things that we can use, like set them on our nightstand, pick them up and read them, or we can give them away to other people. I like, when I go to the bank, I usually put one in the thing that you send to the ladies, and they're always like, oh, this is amazing. I actually quickly want to share why I even started using affirmation cards, or how I started using them. I had them around for a long time, and I was going through a really hard time in life, where I moved to a new location. I didn't really have a community. My dad had just passed away, my spiritual teacher had passed away, and I had a friend commit suicide, and I was in a really bad place. And I got really agoraphobic and didn't even want to leave the house. And I decided one day, because I wasn't even going to the grocery store, my husband was pretty much just doing everything outside of the house, because I could work from home. And one day I decided to pick up a deck and take it with me when I went out. And anytime I would get nervous when I was in the grocery store, I'd fan it out, and I would say, would you like a card? And the very first person that pulled a card for me, she read it out loud, and she started crying. And she said, how did you do this? How did you know? And in that moment, I was able to comfort her using new thought principles that I had known for a long time, but I was in such a dark place. But you see, what happens is whatever we give out comes back. And in that process, I was comforted. And I got really excited about it. And I kept doing it over and over again. And eventually, in the town that I lived in, I would go to the grocery store, and people would run after me and say, hey, card guy, you won't believe what happened. Or they'll say, do you have one of those? I feel like I need one today. And so I am really passionate and excited about this, and we have a sign-up sheet if you want to sign up to go to this. It's at 1:30 on Saturday. And we've made it really simple. Jessica Quinn is actually working with the youth right now, developing some artwork styles that anybody can do. And so we can express our creativity that way and make affirmations. And the affirmations will be in different categories, like spirituality, health, family and love, all of those different categories. And so that's that event. Susan asked if I would share that we have a loom available for anyone who's been interested in making mats for the homeless. We also have a training for that coming up on September 29th at 6:30 here at the church. The woman that we're partnering with to make mats for the homeless will be here to help us, to show us. It's kind of like a workshop. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James. Yeah, that's a booby trap right there where that plugs in. I have stepped on that many a time. So Sunday, September 26th, in the 9:15 New Thought World Religions class, Teresa Amezcua will discuss The 5 Levels of Attachment by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. Our new member ceremony will be held on October 3rd during the service, followed by a reception to celebrate our new members. I remember when I joined the church, there was a lot of protesting, but I went through anyway, so it was a wonderful day. It was a wonderful day. I love the controversy. Our bylaws state that you must have attended for 6 months and attend the 1:30 p.m. orientation on September 26th. Request forms are on the welcome desk in the foyer and are to be returned to Dee by Monday, September the 30th. September the 20th. That's 10 days earlier. October 3rd, following the service and reception, we will have our next Unity in the Community organizational meeting to discuss what is next for our collaboration with the Connecting Ground. Registration continues for the Planet Unity 5K run or walk set for October the 2nd. Registration by September 20th, again, guarantees you an event t-shirt. Ms. Mary,
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so in conjunction with our 5K, we're also going to have a yard sale. It's going to be just stuff. We're not going to sell any clothes unless they are Halloween clothing or something that could be used as a Halloween costume, because that's coming up. We will be having the yard sale on Friday and Saturday, not this coming weekend, but the next weekend on October the 1st and the 2nd. We are going to start setting up on next Sunday. We are going to start setting up. So you have all this week to bring your stuff in. You can put it in the pod. The pod is going to be open from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So you can bring your stuff and put it in the pod. You can bring it on Sunday and just bring it straight into the church if you want to. I know you got stuff that you are ready to release, and if it doesn't bring you joy, release it and bring it to somebody, because it's going to bring somebody else joy. Okay? One really fun thing that I've done is I had a neighbor that was having a yard sale, and I stopped by and said, "Hey, what are you going to do with all this stuff when you get done?" She's like, "I don't have any idea." And I said, "You know what? If you will pack it up, I will come and get it," and brought it to our yard sale. And we had lots of stuff because there's not a whole lot of stuff in there. We were a little nervous in June because we didn't have much stuff, and then it blew up and we had a ton. So that's what we want to see happen again. So bring your stuff, reuse, recycle. Thank you. Oh, and we got t-shirts out there that are free that look like this from our 5K last year. Get your t-shirts, wear them out into the community to advertise it on Facebook. Take a picture of the flyer. Take a picture of the flyer, post it on Facebook to advertise it.
Yeah, anytime you can share things from Unity of Springfield page is just good. I want to just talk a minute about, we have formed a compassionate care team. Miss Stella Wilbur down here is our leader for that. We're very excited about that. Here's the thing. We realize that you might not be available every time we call. That's why we want to set a team up. Some of the areas that are needed, make phone calls to people who are home or who are ill or had surgery, cook meals and deliver them after surgery during an illness or loss of a family member, visits to home, hospitals, care centers, run errands or deliver groceries, send cards such as thinking of you or happy birthday, get well. The church will provide the cards and the postage and pray with people. So there are some sign-up sheets in your seats or around you. And again, we would just love for you to become part of the team. Also, 20 enthusiastic Unitics enjoyed a wonderful, informative trip to Unity Village this week. If you were on that trip, there is a card to sign out in the foyer to say thank you to Mark Fuss and to Jim, two cards to Jim Blake as well. Jim Blake, the CEO, took time with us. If you did not get to go when we do this trip next year, encourage you to make sure to go with us. It was so much fun. So now we're going to stand and join in our prayer for protection.
All together now. We know it. Let's go. All right.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well.
We're going to sing I've Got the Power.
Awesome song by Karen Drucker. Can feel it.
I got
The power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we've got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. one in a long time, Karen Drucker. I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. Where's it at? I got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. Every day I'm wasting my time thinking, oh yeah, that someone else is gonna do it all for me. I've got to get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step towards my destiny. I'll define my direction with clear-cut intention. Declare what will be, and then watch it come to me. Oh, I got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want. I got the power inside of me. I got the power inside of me. There are days when I'm just no good, days that I don't even want to try. But when I stop, look and listen and surrender, I hear the voice of truth I cannot deny. And what's it say? It says, you know you can do it, just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and the will to see it through. 'Cause I got the power to make all my dreams come true. I got the power, ain't nothing I can't do. I got the power to be anything I want. I got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me. In those times when I feel so frightened and it seems like I just can't go on, I've got to look deep inside, 'cause that's where I'll find the power, the power, the power inside of me. Yeah, I got power, and it's deep inside of me. I've got it, I've got it, I've got the power. I got the power inside. Here we go. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Take a look around. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. One more time. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Power! Woo! Hey, I want to give a shout out to Clay for doing PowerPoint today. We are looking for people who would step up into our whole team back there. You will get trained, so please pray about that. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed week. Thank you, everybody.
Clay's got the PowerPoint.